What's this? Call of Duty. Good evening, everybody. I've just broken my glasses, which is not much fun, but there you go. Good evening, everybody. Right, let's just check that we are live everywhere. I've knocked my iPad. Put that straight. We are live on the tube, so good evening to everybody who is already there. And let's just see what Facebook's doing. Let's have a look. Facebook, are you live? And we are live on Facebook, which is an absolute marvel. So let's just make sure that's turned off. And we are good to go. So good evening, everybody. So how cold is it? It's got so cold. I hate the cold. It's not good for me. My body's not designed for the cold. Anyway, so just while we wait for everybody to get logged in. So I was thinking about this project yesterday when I was doing something else. I'm actually working on the online workshop project. So once that's finished, I will let you know all the details and let you start booking. Let me take that off. So while I was doing the projects that I'm doing for the online workshop, it's all cloak and daggers. I had the idea for this and I thought, I wonder if that will work. So this has taken me about 2 hours to prep. And you can see I've got three tubs here. I've had to separate each section. But I think this is a really fab project and you can turn it into just about anything. So any theme, any style, as much or as little as you want, but it's a really good way to get your tag dyes doing something different for you. And for that, I think it's absolutely marvelous. So I'm doing, because it's so cold, we are doing or I'm using the Sunflower Secrets Creative Pack alongside the papers. Hi Jean, hi. Let me just say hello to everybody. I've missed you all. So Facebook first. So hi Jackie, Sandra, Sheila, Jill, Susan, Pam, Elvina, Linda, and Carol. It's been snowing there. Oh, keep it, Carol. We don't want it down here. Jill, Sue, Dawn, I hope you're all right, Chuck. Sandra, Heather, Deirdre, Marie, Louise. Right, you're all coming in too quickly now. So good evening to everybody. Now I know there's a couple of people who can't be here. So Chrissy is one of them because she's having an X-ray. So Chrissy, if you're watching this on playback, I hope it went well. And Georgina's dumped me because she's going to see Russell Watson, which I just think is a liberty. Anyway, I hope you had a good night. So over to the tube. So hi Jane, Jan, Saz, Julie, Paula, Sally Ann, Margaret, Melanie, Caroline, Linda, Karen, Anne, Shell, Brenda. Brenda, I did see your comment the other day, by the way, about the embossing folder thing. It's on my list. And Karen. Right, so let's get cracking with this. So what I'm going to do, this is going to take a while to do, but it will definitely be worth it. So I've obviously got a couple of things out already. And I've just broken my glasses, so luckily, look, I'm like Jack Duckworth. But luckily I've got 2 more pairs of these. So I'll just keep these at home. Right, so I've got 3 little boxes here with bits in for the tag dyes. So I'm very conscious that with the I need to just show you these. Let's just show you, just for the benefit of people who haven't seen the big tag dyes. So these are the only 2 sets that we've got left. The others have all sold out and gone. And I remember when I did these, I mean, I love tags on a project anyway. And what we've got here are layering tags. So if I just bring this closely, you can see, look, we've got the outer die. I'll turn it around. And then we've got the inner die that gives you the perfect matting and layering for it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sizes. And then, of course, you've got all your reinforcement rings as well, should you wish to use them. And I love tags on a card. So this one's the Gothic top. And this one is the traditional top with the deboss stitching. So the traditional top is obviously the regular tag shape, I guess. But the layer has my deboss stitching detail in it. So for the benefit of those of you who haven't got these, there's hardly any left. You know I'm going to say that. There's hardly any of these left. So once they've gone, and I won't reorder these. So Gothic top and traditional top. I am using the Gothic top tonight. Of course I am. Because it's the most tricky to use. But it actually gives you a really lovely decorative top part. Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, my coffee heater is on. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, my cup's stuck to it. Let me just get a drink before we carry on. My iPad's wonky. Let me just put it straight. That's better. Looks like everything's on the wonk. So I'm using the largest of these. So these come on the A5 magnetic storage sheet. So the largest of these tags is actually almost the full A5 in height, which means you can use the biggest one on an A5 card, and then obviously it gets smaller and smaller. So I wanted to do this to show you a new way of using your big tag dies. And in actual fact, because you've got 6 different sizes in the die set, you can actually recreate the project that I'm showing you tonight in 6 different sizes, which makes it even more marvelous because you've got choices. Hang on, let me just have a look. Oh, Jackie's just said she makes all her money wallets from these dies. That's fab. You need to show me, Jackie. I don't think I've seen one. You need to post me a photo in the group. Right, so the easiest way for me to do this was to separate the sections. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a fair bit of work. It's a fair bit of work. But it'll absolutely be worth it. So we're going to start with the... Let's start with... I'll move that to one side for now. You don't need to know what that is just yet. We're going to start with the front and the front. Actually, I'm going to show you. I'm tormenting myself now which to show you. We're going to do the front and the inside first. And I'm just going to show you what I've done, because this is where it gets rather marvellous. There's a lot of work to do, so this won't be a quick live tonight, but it will 100% be worth it, right? I'm just going to put these in order and show you what I've done. Now remind me, let me just put that in there so I know that this is the one that the yellow one goes in. So all the papers and everything that I'm using tonight are from the Sunflower Secrets Creative Pack. Now, Karen has very generously took some money off these for you tonight. So I'm just going to pop the link on, because this little link... Oh, she's not here tonight. She's not at home. So I'm going to pop this in just so you've got it. So we've put the tag dies on offer. So these are now, instead of being 23, they're 19.99, and she's also put the creative packs on offer for you. I don't know how long it's on for, and I do know for a fact that the stock of the dies is not going to last. So I've used here, look, the main tag. So I've cut myself 2 of the main tags in plain white cardstock, yeah? So this is the largest of the tag dies. And then because we're doing a book fold, this is a dimensional project, I've then taken the layer. So this is actually the back of the project. This is the front. So I've taken the layer of the project, layer of the tag, and created my 2 layers. So this is the same die cut. The only difference is I've got an aperture in the front section. Yeah. And the aperture is this die from the Layered Differently die set. And I'm just going to quickly show you. I don't know which die set it is. Let me just check for you. Oh, if it's right way around. So this is from Exquisite Rectangles. And I've got to say, I very nearly did it with this. But it was just leaving me less space. It was leaving me less space to work with, so I didn't. So let me just show you how to do this. So you cut your tag. Oh, cut the tag die, the largest one, or whichever size you're doing, because you could make this a little A6 size if you want. Cut it twice. This one is for the back of my project, so I'm putting that away. And then come to the front. So this is the front. And then I've cut the layer. Just making sure I've got it. Yeah, cut the layer. So cut the layer in the paper. These two papers are both from the Sunflower Secrets release. So these two linen papers come with the paper pack that coordinates with the Sunflower Secrets kit. Yeah. Calamity. I just been. So what you do is you cut this, and I've cut two green ones and I've cut two yellow ones. So green will be the front and back of my project, and yellow will be the inside of my project. So you cut two, then cut your aperture. And I'm just going to give you a tip. So if you're going to have a go at this, I'm just going to give you a big tip. Big tip. So when you cut your aperture, put the tape over. So whatever removable tape you use, put it all the way across. So whichever removable tape you use, when you cut your aperture in the paper, put the tape all the way across and don't take it off, okay? So once you've cut this first one, go back to your solid tag. Let me just get it. Go back to your solid tag. Put this in position. This is a really useful tip. Put this in position. Press down. And now you can run that through your machine. And it's all going to be perfectly lined up, yeah? Because this is in exactly the same place. And then once you've cut that, you end up with this. And you need to do that with your other papers also. It's just an easy way of doing it. It saves you having to guess. Oops, just dropped that die. Where did you go? Bear with me. Can't lose my dies. So that's a really easy way to make sure that all your apertures are lined up. So you have to obviously do the front cover. You have to do the front mounted layer, the front cover itself, which is going to be this, yeah. You also have to do the other side, because we are doing the inside of this project. So we've now created 3 layers, just using the same position die cut, okay? That's the easiest way to do it. Super, super easy. Right, let me put these back in order. I've got stuff everywhere. If you could see the state of my other desk, you'd be ashamed of me. This is Scotch tape. I'm falling out of love with Scotch tape. It's tearing all the time. But whatever removable tape you've got, yeah, whatever removable tape you've got, it doesn't matter. Just make sure I put these in the right places. Just bear with me 1 second. That's the front, I think. That's the inside. That's the front. And that's the back. I'm just making sure I don't get my sections mixed up. So this is the front cover. So we're going to start working on the front cover. Thank you. Change your glasses. If you see these snap in half, or if you hear any swear words, you know that they've snapped in half. So we're going to start working on the front cover first. This is another reason why I don't like the Scotch tape. So this is the front and this is the inside. We're going to do both of these sections at the same time. And I'm going to bring in my little brown craft sheet, because we are going to gesso the edges of this. Oh, that's a big craft sheet, but it will do. Let me just put this to the side. Just bear with me. I'm just going to put this to the side. So I'm going to use gesso to go around the edges of this, just to soften the edge, yeah? You probably could, Jean, to be fair. You probably could. Right, so gesso around the edges. I'm just using a little bit of cut and dry foam for this. And I'm going to do the front and the front inside at the same time, just so that I don't get confused. So a little bit of gesso, a little bit on my mat, and I'm just going to soften the edges with gesso. You can do this with a white ink pad, it's just not as strong as the gesso. So I have condensed this somewhat, because I would probably do stamping and things on these papers before I start adding gesso, but I've scaled it back a little bit for tonight because there is a lot to do. And I think when you see this, it will make you fall in love with the big tag dies again. Now, if I had time, which is famous last words, if I had time, I would have done these for my family for Christmas, but I know I won't have time because I go away soon. And there's a lot to do before then. So just softening the edges with the paper, with the gesso. Even on the lemon paper, it looks lovely. There, you can just see, there you go. You can see the white edges. How long does this take to dry? Well, the gesso, seconds. As long as you don't put it on really thick, it just takes seconds. If it's on quite thickly, it'll take longer. Just remember not to saturate your papers either. It doesn't do them any good. Now I'm not gonna do around the apertures. I'm leaving the apertures clear. I remember or hopefully if you have a go at this, you've got all those lead differently dies that have different centers, and these different centers will give you different apertures. So you can even change the look of this every time you use it. So that's my 2 bits. I'm just going to do my border. All these papers are I can't tell you how well you know this. I absolutely love the Sunflower Creative Pack. If I get chance, I'll show it you again at the end, because everything I've used here, paper wise and embellishment wise, is from the Sunflower Creative Pack. It's my favourite of them all. I know you all love the peonies because it's girly, but I love sunflowers. Especially in November when it's freezing cold and miserable. And I'm just going to do around this little tag. And then I've got 2 bits of grey board that need making white also. So I'm not doing all the embellishments, just some. And the mechanism to put this together is super easy. So I'm just changing this to white. I actually really like grey board in its bare naked form, but I want it white for this project. And the same with this flourish. All the grey board, what's left is on the website. It'll be under embellishments. And it's just easy to apply it with the sponge. Ooh, unless you stick your fingers in it like I did. Right, so that's that. That's that. We'll just let that dry for a second. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring this in. Now this is the front, remember. The aperture is in the front of your project. I don't know why that's dirty, but it's bugging me. It'll have glitter on it when I've finished anyway, don't you worry. Yeah? It'll have glitter all over it by the time I've finished. Yeah, not long till I go away, Saz. Too many secrets on his other desk. Honestly, not even on my desk. I've got secrets right in front of me here. But, I can't even show you. I can't even show you. Right, so this is the front of my project. Now, before we carry on, I'm going to put some of this twine on the front of here using some red tape. Now I'm just going to give you a little tip, another little tip. So this twine is obviously just basic gardener's twine, so it's quite thick. So if I just put that on like that, it would leave too much of a bump in my paper. So if you just loosen the fibres a bit, so it's a little bit thinner, then it's not so bad. And I am putting this on with red tape. Hi, Rose. It's typical. So let me just trim that, that's too long. For those of you that come to the online workshops, you're going to love what I've got planned for you. So I'm not measuring this, I'm just going to do it by eye, halfway up. By eye. Just spread those fibres out a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get 3 bits on here. Because we don't want it to come off. Now at this stage, you obviously are guessing that we're going to tie a bow at the side of this to hold the whole thing together. So for those of you that are going to have a go at this, right, you've got a couple of choices at the minute. So I'm just going to have mine just like this so that I can just tie it in a bow at the side. You could, if you wanted, have it all the way round. You could have it all the way around the back of your project and then tie it in a bow, yeah? I'm not, because I want you to see the inside of the aperture. So I'm just going to leave this longer than it needs to be. Okay. So I've left this longer than it needs to be so that I can trim that down. And we're going to pop the green paper on. The green paper is for the front of the project. They're dry already. Now remember, with red tape, it's not very forgiving. So I'm going to have to put glue on this to give me a little bit of wiggle time. I've just ordered something new for you all as well that I think you're going to like very much. I had to move mine because it was on this desk. So remember, this is still the front of the project. So I'm not using foam tape, pure and simply because the embellishments for the centre of this will add the height. So just bear with me while I stand up. I've got to try and get this straight first time. Oops. Let's try it that way, Phil. My fingers are sticky, which is not a good look. Not that I'm precise. But that is pretty marvellous. So we've now got the front of this already started, look. So this is the front of the I am going to glitter around the edge of this, but not until the end. So I'm going to come to the inside now. And this is the front, the inside left panel that we're working on. So I want a little board, not that, it's not that, that's for the front. Inside left, that's inside left. So inside left, that's in the wrong one, ignore that. Inside left. So I've got some embellishments here from the creative pack. I could have done that. In fact, let me do the other one at the same time. So I've got one coming down that way. And one, so I'm just remembering which way I've got these coming. Yeah, that's right. Just get these done. I could have done this earlier, never thought. The little grey board swirls flourishes are from ages ago, and I genuinely don't know if we've got any of these, but there'll be something. So let's just get some gesso on this. I've got to remember which one's which, because they are both in different directions. I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so let's get this done at the same time. So all we're doing at the minute is the flat jobs. So all the flat jobs can be done at the same time. It's when you start adding the dimension. So this little embellishment, this little tab is in the kit, is in the creative pack. So I've done quite a bit of fussy cutting, but it's absolutely marvellous. You've already got, most of you have already got these packs anyway. So I'm going to pop the paper, on first. And remember, I'm keeping all the layers flat. Because the embellishments will not be flat. So glue, just to give me time to wiggle. I'm going to stand up to do this. So this is the inside section of our double book fold tag. So that's the inside section. Not this year, Lee. Well, I go away in a week or so, so it won't be this year. Now this is going at the bottom here, but that is going on foam tape. And I'm just going to pop this straight on, and then it's done. Actually, I've just made a boo-boo. Hang on a minute, see if I can salvage it. Bear with. I shouldn't have stuck that yet. La la la, this is what happens when you try to do clever things, Mr. Martin. Right, I've got to put the fold in next. The fold's got to go on next, or the divider, the space. So you've got two different ways of doing this. So I'm going to do it in the simplest form, which is this way. So if you want a little Z fold like this, so it's basically a W or an M, yeah, depends which way you want to do it. Now, if this was me sticking this on my project, I prefer it to be with the fold inside. So I've cut this shorter than the actual tag, yeah. So you would put the back one on, and then you would put the front one on. Now, I'm not doing the W because I don't want to squash it down. So if you do the W, it's like a concertina. It allows you to squash the project down. I don't want to for this, so we're doing a U. Yeah, it's a little book thing, Jean. And you can obviously create more pages as well. So if you wanted to create more pages to make like a little scrappy album, you just extend your Z fold, your W fold. So I've got a U. So the U basically gives me a centimetre space. So this centimetre space will allow me to, have a centimetre of gap in between for my embellishments. I'm going to put this one on first because it should have already been on. Naughty Phill. If you're going to have a go at this, do the back one first, it's easier. But I stuck this down I was too excited. I'm just going to take off some of that excess glue. Hang on a minute, just make sure I got this the right way around. This is why I should have done it first. So I've made this shorter than the actual tag on purpose, so it gives us a spine. Yeah, so it gives us a spine. So we've created basically, look, this. Mr. Perfect made a boo-boo. I did. I was too giddy, Jean. I was too excited. And I don't know where I've got the energy from to be excited. Now I can put that back. So this is just giving us some depth. And you can make this as deep as you like. So all you would do is make the gap in between deeper. So just get that on. I've got dirty fingers now. Dirty fingers. And then we've got the other one, which is easy peasy to do. Just remember, once you've put this on, you've got to put the other part of your thingy-me-bob, your twine. Before you put the paper on. So I'm going to fold this like so. And then put that on. You've just got to remember to get this at the right height. You can fold this, by the way, look, so if you wanted to make it easier, you can do it like that. Just make sure the height is the same. And then let's give that a good boning. Ignore the muck on that. My fingers are filthy. There we go. Glitter covers a multitude of sins. So we've now got, look, our little doodah. So you can see how this is starting to take shape. And it's easy. I find that easier. Yeah, I find that easier. So by the time we've got our layers inside with all the embellishments on, it will be about that deep anyway. Let me just put this border on before I forget. So this is going edge to edge. This is only going on the front and the back. Edge to edge. I mean, I love these colours anyway. Something different. I wanted to show you something different to do with your tag dies, because we've all got them. Now where's my other green? Here you are. Something else I forgot to do. Oh, it's been one of those days, so I'm actually quite enjoying sitting crafting with you. So this is the bike. Now I'm not decorating the bike. Now this will make you laugh, because I did get out my, ages and ages ago, I did a little A6 stamp set with the handmade by, etc. on it. And I found them earlier and put them out somewhere. And now I can't find them. So I've put them up, I've put them somewhere safe, and I can't find them. And that is what I was going to put on the bike. So remember, I only use the lid. I've used everything that's in the lid, so I'm just going to shake this up. So I'm just going to shake this up. Glitter your hips. So now I've got some more in the lid, look. Did you watch Strictly? They've got her in for Balvinda, and I think she's lovely. It's such a shame. I don't know why the public don't like her. Right, so that's the back. I do need the gesso again in a minute. Use that stamp set. Oh, do you, Jackie? I think that's why I fancy doing it, Jean. Something different. The online workshop project is very involved. I'm maybe being a little bit ambitious. Just while we wait, I'll edge this one at the same time. I may as well do all the gesso at once, and I do find this easier to do it in sections. So if I was making this for myself, I would do this in sections, so I don't get mixed up with all my embellishments. So I haven't done any splats on the papers because these linen papers are just too gorgeous, and they've already got a little subtle, soft, distressing effect on them as it is. But I am going to splat some things shortly. Look. Oh, you can't even see that. There you are. Look. So that's actually just as part of the design. So let's get this on the back. I've got so much to do. I say it every week. So much to do before I go away. I keep ticking things off my list and then adding things to them. And it can't just be me that does that. Nearly did it. Nearly did it. What do you think I'd learn by now? Call yourself a crafter? Oh, that screaming really got to you last year. Yeah, the noise is ridiculous, I've got to say, Rose. You know when, in between, when they go up to talk to the judges. Right, little tip for you. Little tip, this is a useful one again. So to make sure these are lined up. Yeah, to make sure these are lined up. Fray your edges again, same as I did here. Remember, it needs to be on this side. So put your ribbon or twine or whatever it is you're using across. This way even. And as long as you've got this fine, you'll be able to flick it over and it'll be all right. I'm just going to guess it. But as long as you've got it fine, it'll be fine. As long as it's fine, it'll be fine. Yes, there is a lot of noise on Strictly. I don't normally watch it, I've got to be honest. I got fed up with it a few years ago. Because there are clear favourites. My favourite, I like Anton and I like Craig. Shirley gets on my nerves. So just a bit more red tape. And now I can put my backing on. Oops, sugar. I did say sugar. That's how good that red tape is. Pilates completed. Well done. Well done. Not that I've ever done Pilates, but there you go. Right, I'll try again to put this background on. Let's just pop that on. There you go. So that's the front and the back done. So now you see I can tie this in a bow at the side. Right, we'll continue. Oh. Yeah, same Jean. At least we won't have to put up with it next year. So I'm popping the inside in. I have done the edge. So pop the inside in. This is why I love these tag dies. Look how finished it looks. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Go and get your tag dies if you haven't got them. Right, so next. So my mechanism is done, look. So my little book is done. I'm going to pop that to one side. And then in my 3 tubs, I have some fern leaves that I've cut from the new Olive Grove linen card. So there are 2 for each section. That's the inside, which is That's for the inside. That's for the front. That's for the front. I've got another clock to do in a minute. So I've got the fern leaves, and I do believe that we've sold out now of the fern leaf dies. But look how beautiful they look in the linen card. Can you see that lovely texture? I thought, oh my word, they look stunning. And these are going to get splattered. So I'm just popping them in my inky box. It's the only thing that's getting splattered tonight. Yeah, Anton's funny. When he's not following suit with what Shirley says, I think he's marvellous. And then we're going to pick that up with my splatter brush that's been in that water for weeks. It's probably full of fever. And I'm just going to do some splats on the fern leaves. Just make that a bit whiter. That's it. I don't want loads. But I do want a little bit of white on there. Right, let me crack on now. I'm just going to clean this mess up before I carry on. I've only got a little bit of gesso install to do, and then it's just assembly. So all these sunflowers are fussy cut from the creative pack, absolutely marvellous. And I didn't realise just how much was in it. I mean, I should have done, because I know how much work I put into them, but I just didn't realise how much was in the actual case. I'm just looking to see if I've got anything else to shabby before I carry on. I'm just doing this. Waste not, one not. I'm using what's on my mat. So let me just tell you what I've spent my weekend doing. So I've spent my weekend, well, as you know, starting with the online workshop project, but also doing my display boards for the new release in a couple of weeks. You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Look at that, that's revolting. That's glue. Oops. Right, here we go. I can't see what you're saying, but I'll have a look in a minute. I'm just going to clean this off my mat now, because we are done with the gessoing. Well, I think we are. We shall soon see. So I'll just clean this up. There are no die cuts on this project apart from the foliage. So I've used the fern leaves that I don't think we've got anymore. And I've also used one from the Christmas release that I did get back in stock, but I do believe it's gone again. So apologies for that, but I'm sure you've got foliage that you can use. Right, easy to clean up, apart from you. do that later. You don't want to hear that noise. And then I'll get rid of that brown mat because we don't need it now. Right, here we go. So a bit of foam tape on the back of this one. So the front is going to almost mirror itself. I am using 2mm foam tape. And I'll be honest with you, I was looking for some 1mm and I couldn't find any. So when I'm at the shop on Wednesday, I need to bring some 1mm foam tape home. So the border is going on the back to match the front. Yeah, and by pure chance, it's the perfect fit. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Jean. In fact, I very nearly did it in the rust, the vintage rust, because I like that kit as well. But you can do it in with just about anything. So front and back. Front and back. So the front and back match. The inside, this twine's getting on my nerves. The inside is going to have these lovely little tabs on. And these are going at the bottom. And then the other one, where are you? This would be an awesome Christmas project, but I'm just not going to have time this year, so if my family are watching, don't get excited. You're not getting one. Oh, I can't see all your comments, but I will look in a sec. Is there any packs left? Sorry, let's just I am going to show you the Sunflower Creative pack. She's put them on offer, but I know there's not many. She's put them on offer because she said I was using too much tonight. Which I don't think I am. Right, so let me just get this organised. We're gonna do the inside first. So this is for the front. So I'm gonna do the front last. And I'm gonna try and use foam tape as much as possible for this, so that we don't have to wait for the glue gel setting before I finish putting the project together. So that's for the sentiment. We'll do that last. All these lovely sunflowers here are from the creative pack, and these are just going to create now some dimension. We'll do this first. I'm not inking the edge of this, I'm leaving it plain, and it's going on flat. So the paper section is going on flat. And the bonus of this is, this white section that I've got here is actually the white section from when I cut the aperture. So none of it gets wasted. And I did save the other two, but I don't know where I've put them. Oh, here they are. So the other two look... oh, that's nice. Mixing and matching, look, that's nice. So none of it gets wasted. I am going to put the topper in first before I start embellishing this. And that's only because I need to see when I'm overlapping things. So you know the easiest way to put this on. is by using the aperture on the front of your project as your guide. So rather than guessing where it's going to go, you can literally just go through there, look, and see where it's going. Yeah, I should have done that before I folded it flat, but hey ho, glue will help. It's nice to see these lovely summery colours when it's pitch black at 4:30 at night and freezing cold. I'll make sunflowers out the day. Yeah, you can do, yeah. Tina, they're in the... you need to just... Tina's looking for how to see the albums. You need to click on where it says photos, and then when you see where it says photos, it will show you more, and then you can click more, and then it will show you albums, and then you can see all the albums. Right, I'm just going to try and guess this because I've obviously put the foam tape on. Marvellous. So that will do nicely, thank you very much. Just going to check that this is right before I press it down. Marvellous. Needs to come across a little bit. It's my own fault. I could have done it when it were flat. Bear with me, it needs to be spot on. I should have done this when it was flat. So I'm showing you a lovely new demo. How not to do it. That's it, that's perfect. How not to make a book fold tag project. Oh, look at my coffee, it's gone manky. Yuck, I'm drinking it. Right, so let's start putting this project together. So these little tabby things here are just from scraps of paper that I cut into 1.5 cm squares, and I've got 3 for each side. But I'm going to put them on after the sunflowers have gone on. Right, so here we go. So remember, my sentiments going in there. I'm trying to avoid covering that up too much anyway, because you're going to see it from the front. So let's just see where I need my foam tape. So let's have that about there. Actually, I'm going to do it with glue gel. I'm going to do what I normally do. It's just not so forgiving. So I am going to hang this over just a little bit. And when I've got to be honest, when I was cutting these out, you can see how roughly I've done it. So I didn't even worry. The papers, the designs are really, really forgiving. So let's have that about there. So just over the edge, spot on. This one's going underneath it. This one's going underneath it, about there. We've got the clock that I'm going to cut in half. And don't shout at me for this not being the right orientation, because I'm not bothered for this. I just want the clock on. So glue. Oh, I've put my brown sheet away. I'll do it on here. So this is just my normal white glue that I'm putting this on with. And I've chopped the clock in half, and I did say clock because we're just going to tuck it under there like so. So there's just a bit of it showing, look. Then we've got the bottom section, which has the flourish. So I'm going to have the flourish going up here. I'm going to snip that off. So this is coming up here. Glue. And then this little sunflower is going, hang on a minute, I think I've got that wrong. Yeah, that's right, I did get it wrong, of course I did. It's all gone Pete tongue. Well, not all of it, but just some. Remember, I'm trying not to cover too much of the, because when that's closed, look, I want you to be able to see the sentiment. We've got the extra little bit of this flourish, which is going on at the top. So I've just chopped it in half. The sentiment I'll put on last, and then I've just got this, but I can't remember where I wanted that. Bear with. Bear with. Got 2 butterflies. Got two fern leaves. I've got one going under here. I'm not going to, if you're bored, it's tough. It's not a quick project, but it is worth it. And then the other one is going on the other side. Sorted. My little tabs are going on next. And I've got to try and remember to mirror these. These are just scraps of paper. Literally scraps of paper. The butterflies I will put on last. I've got two little ferns that are from the Christmas release, so I'm just going to break those down. The sentiment is going on the very end. This is why I opted for my usual glue gel, because had I have done this with foam tape, I wouldn't be able to pick things up and lift them. Sugar. I will get away with it. I'll move that lower. I'll just get away with that, I think. So scraps up there. That was supposed to go on there, so that's served me that's done me a favour. Cover that bit of glue gel up that I splodged. And then we've got the other half of the clock. Oh, that's for the other side. That's for that side. Right, so I'm going to leave the butterflies and the sentiment till the end. Hi, Karen. Because the butterfly, I think one of the butterflies is for here and the other one's for there, but I can't remember till I put this together. So now we're on the other side. So before I do this, I'm going to mirror these so that I get them in the right place. Now, you all know me well enough to know that I would take ages on this if I was doing it in not on a live. Where's the other one? But at least we're getting the idea. Yeah, job's a good one. Right, so sunflowers first. This one is a smaller version of that. Do you know, when I'm crafting for myself, I never get covered in all this. But when I'm working, for some reason, I do. Then we've got three smaller ones and one that's sideways on for the top. So let's just get these on. Now, clearly the fussy cutting took a while to do, and it actually took me as long to find the things that I wanted to cut out than it did to cut them out. So for anybody who's not a fan of fussy cutting, I really wouldn't worry about it too much, because so I'm doing opposite here, look. I don't want that white to be showing through the aperture this time. And then this little one here, you can either have it going the right way, like so. In fact, I think I will. I'll have it going the right way. Just make sure you can't see it through the aperture. Yeah, marvellous. Marvellous. And then I've got another small one for the bottom. There's so much in these creative packs. This is barely scratched the surface. In fact, you can't even tell. I'm going to tuck this under here. So I don't want it to look the same both sides. Same products, but a different look. So we've got this flourish going up this way on that one. So I'm going to have it coming down on this side, just for balance. So this is going on next. A little bit of glue. Tuck it under here. I just want, I mean, you all know I love grey board, but this is just another one of the reasons why, because it doesn't add any weight to your projects. I'll just lift that up a bit. That's it. The clock, I'm going to try and get that down there. So I've got a little bit of clock showing there. A little bit of clock showing at the top right and the bottom left. This little extra flourish will be going underneath the foliage when it's on. 2 more fern leaves. So 2 more fern leaves. I do always snip the end off the fern leaves. I don't know why. I think it's just, it shortens the stem a little bit. So don't worry about that. That's going to have one of these on it in a minute. In fact, I'm going to stick that down. I don't normally do this, but I am going to stick that down. So by the time this is done, when we close it, there'll be little bits from each layer showing through the aperture. Just small sections. And then it all opens to the sentiment in the middle. So it's kind of like a little story just leading you in. And then the little extra ferns. Oh, I've just chopped that one far too small, but not to worry, not to worry. Let's just get this in first. The extra flourish. extra ferns. I've done it again. That's going to bug me. Hang on. That's going to have to go there. Which I didn't want it there, but it's going to have to do. Last one, and then we've just got the front to do, which won't take long at all. And then it's just a matter of the sentiments. Because there are going to be 2 on this little project. Now remember, right at the very beginning of this demo, I told you that I've got a centimetre. My spine is a centimetre, which is perfect for the amount of layering that I've got on the inside of this. So the butterflies will go on last. We're going to just allow that a minute. I'm just going to allow that a minute while we start working on the sentiments. So I'm just going to pop that over here. There are 2 sentiments going on this project. This one that's going on the front and this one that's going inside. And I'm just going to see if I can find something with love for, love you so much, something that ties in. Do you know what? That's what we're going to do. Sending sunshine your way. And I couldn't decide between a brown ink or a green ink, so I'm going to try both and see which one looks best. So let me just try this on a little bit of scrap. Little bit of scrap. See which colour works best. I suspect I will go for the green. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So I will share the links again for the tags and the creative packs that are left when I've finished. Why does that always happen? I want one. Because the tag dies will be, you just won't be able to get them soon. So rather than them go and me not have warned you, you can't say I didn't tell you. So sending sunshine your way. So I'm under no illusions that this glue gel will be set. It won't be set properly, but it will be set enough for me to finish the front of the project. And then this just says to you both. And I'm going to try and get this towards the end. So this little banner is part of the creative kit as well. Put elastic band. Oh, Chrissy, you're back. How did you get on? Put an elastic band around what? I don't know whether that's the kind of tricks I need to know. Chrissy Cole. These are from the Just Saying sentiments. No idea what's left from the Just Saying. It'll be whatever there is, that's it. Right, so leaving that till the very end with the butterflies for the inside. We're going to start on the front. Is that dry? We're going to start on the front. Oh, 8th of December, crikey. You could. Phil, why do you prefer the cocktail stick than the syringe? I just threw too many syringes away, Judy. And the cocktail sticks are so inexpensive. They're eco-friendly. Right, so all this is now for the front. And it's super, 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 super easy. Super easy. So I've got my flourish, but this time the flourish is staying in one. I've got this from the paper pack. This is actually, believe it or not, these are from the paper pack. So I've cut out elements from the paper pack itself. So we are almost done. I am going to chop this clock in half. Because I only need half of it. I'll save the other. Right, I'm going to start at the top and work my way down for this. And I'll try and be as delicate as I can. So this is all one piece. I've got another tube ready. And now what you have to remember when you're doing the front, because we've got this lovely aperture, you've got to try and remember you don't want any of this coming over too much. Oh, that was just pure luck rather than judgment. Because what you end up with is the white look. Oh, sorry. You end up with the white. That's getting on my nerves, that twine. I'm sure it's getting on your nerves as well. And then I'm going to pop the flourish on next. I am going to snip that extra bit off. The flourish is going up here. This is going just there. So let's just make sure I don't get glue gel where I don't want it. And I forgot already. So just down this side. So just down this side. No, I can have a bit there. I've got a little tag here. I can't remember where I cut that. This is going on here, so I'm going to pop that on next. The clock is going at the top, so let me just do that next. The clock is supposed to be going there. See if I can wedge it in that glue gel. Oh, that was a bonus. I'm having a lovely time playing. So, little Sentiment's going on next. Do you think I need to get the other glue gel tube out? So this is going just there. The little heart is going there, just to cover up the end of that sentiment. I've got a little bow. I don't say that very often. Got a little bow that's going on here. Little bow. I'll just let that set. You can see now why it's easier to use foam tape. I've got a little charm here that I am going to tuck underneath. I am when I can find the right coloured twine. So I've got two little charms here. One is a fleur-de-lis. And the other one is a little made with love. In silver. Oops. I've dropped it, so I don't know where that went. Can anybody see that? I did have a charm that said made with love, but it's either got stuck under some glue gel or it's on my desk and it's looking right at me, but I can't see it. Well, that's a bit of a steward. That's a bit of a steward, so we'll just have the fleur-de-lis. I'm just going to get it to the right height before I tuck it underneath. I'm just putting a little knot in it. Let's just see if I've made that too long now. No, that'll do. Hang on, it's too long. I'm going to try and do it without the knot. I'll cook the glue gel on Wednesday. There's quite a few things I need on Wednesday. I don't know where that little charm went. But it's gone now. It's done. Right, so nearly done. I've just got the ferns. So I've just got the ferns to put on. I'm going to do one at a time. I'm not going to say the word that I was just about to say. This is going under here. I've got dirty tweezers. Dirty tweezers. I don't know why that made me laugh. Yeah, it probably did go on the floor. I'll never find it again, Julie, so the Hoover can have that. So another bit of fern up here. I've got a little sunflower thing to go under here just to fill the gap. These little circles are dead useful. I've got 2 smaller ferns to put on, even though I've got glue gel all over this one. Do you know what? It's a wonder I use it really, because I get it everywhere. I can't remember why I had that there. Was it for up here? No, I won't put a tag up there, would I? Surely. Did I? I did. I did. And now I remember why. For the butterfly. I've nearly done. What time is it? Do you know, I've got no idea what time it is. I did have that up there. Because the butterfly's going up there. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this little tube of glue gel. So the extra ferns, and then I've nearly done. It's literally just a sentiment. And then, for the benefit of those people who have not seen the creative pikes, I'll show you my tub, even though my tub is quite messy, because I've used a lot of my creative pike. Right, just bear with me. I need to just clean this glue gel off my hands. It's driving me mad. As much as I love this stuff, it gets on my nerves. And we've got a couple of butterflies that are going on. And these are the shabby butterflies, and I've cut them from the waste paper. So the paper that was left from all this cutting that I've done, yeah, that's right, is where the butterflies have been cut. So I've used butterflies on every layer apart from the back. Don't need that. So the little butterfly was for the top, I think it was. I'm going to try and do this with my glue. Rather than glue gel. Just see if I can get it done. No, it needs to be glue gel. It was worth a try. I'm just trying not to get the glue gel all over my fingers. And then the big butterfly is for the bottom. And then I'll show you why I've left the sentiment until last. Because it gives us a fab finishing touch when you've finished. I've got my other little butterflies. Bear with. I've got 2 here. There should be 2 more. Or is it 1? No, there should be 2. Right, who's got my butterfly? 1, 2. Do you know I had everything in my tub as well? Oh, it's here. Yes, nice try, butterfly. Trying to escape. So let's just try and hold that up a little bit, just while I put my butterflies in. So I've got the butterflies for the centre. I've done the different colourway to the inside, so I've used the remnants of some of the linen paper from the 8x8 pack, and there are a couple of different, I don't know whether you can remember, but there are a couple of different shades of green, a couple of different shades of orange, lemon, etc. So you can really mix and match the colours easily. So a large and a small for each section. So large, small, that's right. I'm just trying to remember which way I did it, because you know as well as I do that the best laid plans and all that. So small, large. I'll do the glittering later. You don't want to be messing with this when you're still waiting for bits to dry. And then it's the opposite way round. So the large and then the small. And then trust me when I say this, but when the glue gel, oh, I've just battered that. When the glue gel is set, you will be able to close this without harming the butterfly's wings. They will spring back up, but obviously not when the glue gel's still wet. And then the last one, and then the sentiment, and then I've just got a couple of random pearls to put on. Come on, come on, come on. And I'm only putting a couple on, and they are the caramel shimmer that I'm going to put on. So right, left, left, right. So let's have that. Let's have that. Oh, let's have it here. Right, so very quickly, the sentiment can now go in the centre. And I've left the sentiment till last on purpose because I want it to stick out higher. I'm going to have to get a new tube out, hang on. I want it to stick up higher than the rest of the topper. That'll do. So this would obviously be glittered when I've finished. So the Sentiment. Oh, that's so lovely, this. The Sentiment is bang in the middle. I can't squash it down because it's all still wet, as you saw with my poor little butterfly. But I am going to chuck a couple of little caramel shimmer pearls on, and then I'll bring this up. I need to move my camera. For some reason, I end up bringing everything down here. So a couple of little caramel shimmer pearls, and I've chosen caramel rather than yellow or darker brown, just because they match with the least used colour on this project, which is that biscuit crumb. So the cardstock for these flourishes is the new biscuit crumb. So I'm just going to have just a couple of random I'm not going to go mad. And let's just see if I can do the front. I am going to squash that butterfly, unfortunately. What a surprise. What a surprise. All the butterflies get battered on my projects. It's a shame. I've not really got much room for random pearls on this front, but I can get two in. So 2, and then we are done. And I'll bring it up so you can see what I've done. And I can't tie the bow yet, obviously, but you can see from the amount of twine that I've used that I've left way more than I need. Do I need that on there? I think I do. So it's always a good idea to use too much twine and then snip off any that you don't want. Done. I'm not messing anymore. Crikey, it's 9:15. Crikey, I thought it was about 8:15. So all these bits are for the bin, which is a shame because they are still quite useful, but they are going in the bin. And then I'll do a little close-up for you. I'm going to have to do this very gingerly, but I'll bring it in and show you. So this is the front. So remember, this just started as a couple of die cuts of tags. I've just squashed that butterfly. Sorry, butterfly. There you go. So this started off as a couple of tags with the apertures in. We've got the spine on there that I've just got glue gel on. So this is actually a stand-up project. So this would obviously stand up. I will, at the top of the tag, I will put a couple of bows with the twine. So let's just see if I can try and show you this without killing everything. Right, so there's the front. So the dimension is not as deep as you think. I can't do it too much. So we've got the Sending Sunshine Your Way, which is why I put this on last, to make sure that you could see it properly. So send it, oh, that's for, I'll put a pearl on that in a minute. It's got glue gel on it. So we've got all the layers going on the front, and then you open the inside and it coordinates with the front very nicely. And then the back, which I haven't decorated, but I probably would if I was doing this properly. So we've got a whole coordinated look just from using a couple of tag dies and creating a few apertures. How fab is that? And the spine is really easy to do as well. So it's actually a stand-up it is actually a stand-up project, as you can see. I'll try and take photos somehow in the morning. I don't know how, but I'll try. And I'll finish it off in the morning with a bit of glitter because it is missing a little bit of diamond dazzle. So I'm quickly going to show you my Sunflower Secrets creative pack. Now, most of you will already have seen these and had them. For those people that haven't, I've squished it again. Oh, I'm going to swear in a minute. I'll show you. So the tag dies. Tag dies. I've obviously done this using the largest of the tags, and I've used the Gothic top. So the Gothic top layering tags. This whole project, that whole project can be done in all these different sizes. So if you wanted to make little dinky tiny ones, you can, all the way up. So Gothic top, traditional top. These are on special for you as well. It's only just go and grab them because they've nearly all gone. It's not a permanent offer. And this is my Sunflower Secrets tub. So all my Sunflower Secret papers, the creative pack, it's all in this tub. So I can't really show you it properly unless I've got one at the bottom. But that's the linen, the paper pack. I've used most of this, to be fair. So you get papers with the sunflowers on at the front, and then you get the linen texture ones at the back of the pack. Yeah. The creative pack itself, they're just absolutely amazing. It's one of my favourite things that I've ever done. So this is your creative pack. Sunflower Secrets. You've got all these fabulous toppers. You've got two different colourways with the sunflowers. So you've got the blue and the yellow, and then you've got the greens and the oranges. You can see I've cut lots of these down tonight for this demo. And then you've got extra papers. Now, it's worth me mentioning to you that the creative packs are not paper. They are 250 GSM silk card. So they've got some substance to them, and they're absolutely stunning. Do not miss out on these because they are fabulous. And this is all the bits, look, that I've used. I've even saved, look, scratchy bits like this, because you can die cut a butterfly or a flower from that. So I've got bits everywhere. Got bits all over the place, look. But waste not, want not. You know you're going to use this at some point, so just save it. And there you go, everybody. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I must admit, I've had a lovely time making it, even if it was a bit stressful. And that thing's swinging about like a loony. Shove it in. There you go. Swinging about like a loony. My butterflies need to set. But when the butterflies have set, I'll be able to add some glitter to this, which I will do in the morning. Just remember, where you've got the aperture, you need to make sure it's clean behind it. So when you're putting things on the front, don't make it grotty from the inside. And there you go, everybody. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm now going to make myself a fresh coffee. All the butterflies are getting it. I'm just going to put a pearl on this. I've got glue gel on that. That's going to bug me. So it's got to have a little pearl on. There we go. So if you're watching this on rewind, basically fast forward to the end and don't see how not to do it, because that's what I show you. Anyway, there you go, everybody. I'm now going to go and get myself a fresh coffee, and I will see you all when will I see you again? Next Monday. When will I see you again? So I will see you all next Monday. And I do have some news for you next week as well. So go and get your doodahs. Go and treat yourself, especially while we've got little discounts. It all adds up. It makes a difference, especially at this time of year. And I will catch up with you all next Monday. So thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you next Monday. Thanks everybody. Bye. Oh, don't forget. Oh, I always forget, I'm rubbish. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are watching for the first time. I apologise. I am normally more organised. Now that's a lie. But make sure you get subscribed to the YouTube channel, and make sure you like and follow our Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, and the same for our shop Facebook page, Honeypot Crafts. So thanks everybody. See you next week. Bye. I'm trying to find the button.